Next, the Fred Winter, Band of Outlaws 7-1 favourite, Friend or Foe 9-1, Gardens of Babylon 12-1, Lethal Steps 12-1, Fine Brunello 12-1, Surin 14-1, 16-1 Bar. Joe, anything here for you?
I think the juvenile hurdling division is extremely weak in the UK. I think Joseph, if he's going to end up going down to his father's place of work every October for the next decade and deciding I'll have 10 Camelots, 2 Galileos and as many others as he wants, we're all going to be in trouble. But I think he's got Star Max who's coming forward. Oddly, I think there's a horse in the UK called Capone who seems to have a lot of ability, but I think he's got temperament issues. He seems to get fairly hot under the collar pre-race. And if he got in at a huge price, Noel Meade has a horse called Union Gap. He hasn't run since he was second to May's Runner of Willie's down in Cork in December, if I'm not mistaken. He's no certainty to get in, but if he did, he might be. He had a few quick runs over hurdles back before the end of the year. I think he could run very well if he got in.
Union Gap 40-1 with Betfair Sportsbook. Tony, having said you don't like the race before and you've no interest in the race after this, I might as well come to you now.
I haven't got a massive opinion at this point. I think this is the kind of race where you'll play it on the day, you'll probably look for it. There are a couple of firms, Paddy Power and Hills, are offering 5 places already, which is fair play to them. I'd probably play it on the day when we know the ground and when we know the opposition and the pace, etc. I think if you're just looking at it from a numbers point of view, obviously everyone works on the basis of a differential of maybe £40-45 between flat rating and jumps rating, whether that's right or wrong. We don't know, but Lethal Steps was a 100+ rated horse in the flat. Is shaped encouragingly, as they say. On 3 starts over hurdles so far. A mark of in the low 130s is favourable when it compared to the flat mark. I think it will step up considerably on that, and a 12-1 it's probably a fair price. I think Joseph of the Band of Outlaws, I think they'll be happy enough with that rating, even though the UK Handicap has given it £5 extra. But I thought he was impressive last time, but they seem to think they might have a stamina concern about Band of Outlaws at Cheltenham, given the Cheltenham track. But for me at the moment, maybe Lethal Steps.
Lethal Steps currently 12-1 with Hills, Betfair Sportsbook and Black Type and 888 Sport as well. Andy?
Well, it's well documented that Joseph O'Brien's dominated this division all the way through the season. He's got the favourite for the Triumph, and he's got a big player in the Supreme if Fakir Duduris does make it. So he's got a good line in pretty much every form line. The fact that he's brought Fakir Duduris over as well to just kind of like feel how good he is against the English horses will give him even more confidence. I've backed Band of Outlaws. Antipat actually put it up for which one of my few horses I put up with Oddschecker that's still running and has actually shortened in price, which is a bit of a rarity. But I was very impressed with him last time out. It was a good little race that was, which one he took. And I thought he was good the time before as well at Limerick when the ground was bottomless. So stamina-wise, I wouldn't be having too much of an issue on that front. He's got a good turn of foot as well, something that a lot of these haven't got. And the other one I'd throw into the mix as well is another Irish horse called Hannon, one of John McConnell's.
Yeah.
John's got a very good record when he brings his horses over here, particularly his juveniles. And this fella's just had the 3 runs. He's a nice looking horse at Camford Cliffs. And he was second the other day to a horse of Gordon Ellis called Chosen Mate in a Grade 2 race against the older horses. And with one more stride he would have won. He only got beaten nose. It was just
Jockey lost his whip as well.
Yeah, Jockey lost his whip, and he lost a shoe on the run-in as well. I was just
wrong.
going back and watching the video. So the shoe gone flying, and I went back and it was definitely his.
Musselburgh races worked out.
The Musselburgh races worked out. Obviously, he beat Liver that day. The only thing I don't know anything about with him is the ground. He's 3 runs been on good to firm, good and good. So if it was soft, I'd be absolute total guesswork. But he's better than I think what we've seen so far. The English Handicap, unfortunately, give him a shot across the bows and put him up to 139. You can't have it both ways. If he's 119, he's not going to get in. He's in. So a lot of these Irish horses have been raised, but they've been raised so they've actually at least they can get in.
Yeah.
So I don't think that point's been raised. I've backed Band of Outlaws, and it's 25-1 currently. I do think that Hannon's hugely underrated.
Yeah, Hannon 25-1 with Hills, Black
5
Type
places
and
as well, isn't it? That
Hills 5 places, yeah. Again, a bit of blue around as well. So that 25s may not last too long.
No.
And I think the price in the exchange is pretty tight to that as well. So